Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wax Seal Live. Today, we're doing something really fun. We are going to be using some of the supplies from the December Wax Seal Club box to make some ribbon sills. So I have a few different ideas for how we can do these. I'm going to show you how to use them on a gift. And these are super fun because they're super easy to make. But I feel like they're extra pretty. And so this is a great one because some seals, I feel like some techniques are pretty complicated that you're like, I'm not doing this for all my Christmas gifts. This one's easy enough that you potentially could if you wanted to. So that's why I want to show it today. It's a little bit more easy, but it's also super fun and super pretty at the same time. So let me know how you're doing today. Let me know where you're watching from. If you don't know what the Wax Seal Club is, I'm sure there's some of you here that might get this box. But what it is there's one unique wax stamp and 3 sealing wax sticks, and it comes every other month. So we are going to use some of the items in this box. So for this box, this is the stamp. It says Happy Holidays. It's so cute, and it comes with classic red, antique gold, and cream. And so here's the stamp. It comes with a handle on the first one. Here's the wax sticks. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump the camera. And there's a little bonus. So today's actually the last day to get this bonus. So if you order the box by the end of the day today, or if you're an existing subscriber, you can automatically get this ribbon. So you'll get the ribbon and you'll also get this cute little set of gift tags. So I have a few of them that are already out, but they're gold foil tags that have different phrases. Merry Christmas, there's bows, there's wreaths, there's so many cute ones. So if you want to get this box, I'm going to add the link to it really quick, and then we're going to start actually making these ribbon sills. And I have a few other things that aren't in the box that we're going to use today, but we're going to use a lot of this stuff in here. So let me see who we've got here with us today. I can see April's here, cold and windy in central Pennsylvania. Catherine's here, Terry's here, welcome. Trish is here, welcome everyone. I'm so excited to hang out with you guys for a little bit. Okay, so I did snag this ribbon out because we are going to use that right now. And the other things I have with me today, I have, of course, the stamp from the Wax Seal Club box, so we're going to use that one. But I do have a few more. I had these in these little bins for a workshop I taught in person. It was last week, I think. And I haven't put them away yet. So I just thought we would grab some of these from the holiday collection. If you haven't seen that collection, it's so fun. There's lots of good ones. And I know there's a lot that's out of stock, but everything's on its way. So it should be here any day now, and I'll get those items restocked. So something I'm doing today is I'm planning to use either gold powder or the Krylon pen. And for me, anything that's 3D is a little bit tricky to add the gold to. Like, it would be better to use a paintbrush or something. And so even though this one is so pretty, I'm not going to use this one today just because it will be challenging for me to actually apply the gold. Same with this cute little tree. It's so cute in 3D, but again, it's going to be difficult to color. So that's why I'm not going to plan to use that one. This one's really cute, the little snowflake. I'm just seeing which other ones will be easy to color. A snow globe. That one might be fun. I think we'll have a hard time with the Merry Christmas on the bottom, though. Snowflakes at different depths. This ribbon's good. This one's good. A present. I feel like this is pretty good. So those are some sills that we're going to use today. And okay. So we've got those. And then the other thing I have is a bunch of ribbon. So let me show you. I have some different widths. So I have several that's kind of like this size. It's the same, similar to what's in the box. So the box one is 3/8 inch. So slightly smaller than that. So I have a few of those. So I have that in a dark green or very dark green. I have it in more of just like a pretty Christmassy green. I'm like, can you see the difference in these colors? This one's just almost like, it's not black, but it's close. It's got more blue in it too. But just some dark greens are really pretty. This dark green is leftover from a past lettering box from a few years ago. I still have it. It was such a big roll of spool. And it was so funny. When I ordered it, I didn't think to ask what size the ribbon spool was. So we had to like cut the edge of the rounds so it could actually fit into the box. So that was something that I've learned. So now ordering ribbon, I know to make it tiny so it can actually fit. This one's from Hobby Lobby, like a natural twill. I really like that one. And I have the same thing, but thinner. That one's from Paper Mart. This one's from Hobby Lobby. And then I do have this really large red that I've never tried this one before, but I think it will be fun. This one has wire in it though, so I don't know if this will work as good or it'll be fine. But I just grabbed it because I was like, that'll be good to try because you guys might have some ribbon like this already or ribbon that has wire in it so we can kind of test it out. And then I do have with me a little gift that's wrapped and ready to add something to. For my surface, I've got parchment paper here. I have this little marble pad, and I also wanted to try one more thing that's kind of new that I've been using, and this was a gift, let's see, from Paula. And I've been using it when I have a new collection and I have to make a bunch of sills, but look how humongous this is. It's huge. And so I thought maybe we could try it today and see how it goes for making all our sills on this so that it can help hold the shape of the wax for us. So yeah, I thought we would try it and I think it will be fun. And thank you, Paula. Okay, and the last thing I have is sealing wax. So the colors I'm using, I've got the classic red. I've got all the colors from the box, cream and antique gold. I did grab a couple greens just so we can see. I'm not sure if we'll use, I think once we start making them, it'll be like, oh, we definitely need some green, you know? Such pretty ribbons. It's making me want to go ribbon shopping. I know, it's so fun. I'm really loving the velvet ones. I think that's what these are. This one doesn't have a label on it, but I really like these ones a lot. I feel like they're really pretty. And I thought this one that had the wire in it would kind of be similar, but it does have like a sewn edge, which I don't like. You can see the stitching, so I don't like that as much, but it's still pretty. And it's nice that it's wire, so I think, I don't know, it'll be fun. So, and I do love this stripe one. I think this is so cute. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to cut some ribbon. April just asked, when does this box ship? I was like, where's my phone? And I'm using it on the camera. We just shipped 1,100 of them this morning. They just all my packing ladies went to go drop them off. And then they're packing a few more today. And then all of next week, we have 3 packing days. So by the end of the week, next Thursday, everything will be shipped, both lettering box and Wax Seal Club. So the lettering box is sold out already, which is amazing. And also, it's just, I'm like, oh, I wish I had more because more people want it, but I don't. It's gone. But the Wax Seal Club, I still have some of those. So if you haven't gotten it yet, you should totally get the box. It's so much fun. And I'm like, where are my scissors? Hold on, I think they might still be in my bin. Yes. I didn't get them out of my bin. Okay. I need to go shopping to Hobby Lobby to get the white cream. Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, for me, it seems like there's always not a lot at Hobby Lobby, but almost every time I go and look. And if I find one, I'm usually looking for Christmassy colors. So most of these I didn't buy recently, outside of this really dark green one. I've just had them for a while. So I feel like sometimes I go and it's like there's nothing there. So I mean, you might try other places too, I guess, and online as a great option. I'm glad you can't find your supplies. I'm always looking for something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's like, well, and then also it's half the time it's like sitting right here and you're like, where are my scissors? It's hard. Okay, so for what we want to do for our ribbons, we need enough for it to go underneath the sill and then enough to like peek out, right? So when we cut it, we're really going, this is probably like 1.5 inches-ish is what I would say. So we're going to cut that. And I'm just going to cut a few of these because we're going to make, it'll be more than one, it'll be 2 to 3 ribbons per sill. But it may be, if it's a thicker ribbon, it would just be one, most likely. We'll kind of experiment with the thicker ones. So we'll make a few of those, and I'm just going to do a few of each of the colors so we can try some different combinations. That one's a little curly. I'm just going to try to get them the same size. And we'll just cut these down. But so I feel like this could be something you really could jam out a lot of these in a short period of time, and it wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be too crazy. I will say for my own gifts, I don't put sills on every gift. I usually do sills on like more special gifts, and mostly just for adults and other women. I don't really, like my kids, I don't usually put sills on theirs. I have, well, that's a lie. I guess I did, their Santa gifts had sills, but then that's a little bit of a giveaway because they know that I do sills, but I don't know. Let me know. Do you put sills on your gifts? All of them or just some of them? Oh, thank you. You can increase your camera workspace. Yes, I always forget. Thank you for reminding me. So we're just cutting a few of these ribbons out, and then we'll actually get started making our sills. And I've had my wax plugged in a little bit, and oh, you can see off in the corner of the camera. There's already like a bubble in it and stuff, so I'm just going to turn it off, and then it should be a pretty decent temperature by the time. We might have to turn it on one more time. Okay, I'm just checking if I got everything. And like, I thought there was a few more types I had. Just making a bunch today. So this one's just twill. So I think this one's really, the twill is really cute, especially if you're using cream wax. If you're going like more of like actual white wax, maybe it would be fine and still be really cute. I don't know, but I do like it because it's cream and we're using cream wax, so it looks kind of nice. And then we'll do a couple of the large. Just to see. And then we'll do some of the red. This one I'm really curious if it will even look cute or not because it's this wire ribbon, but this one's also really fuzzy. I'm going to cut the next one not on my table. So I'll get fuzzies on me, but not my work surface. And then it's like I need to clean off my scissors before I keep going so I don't get this red fuzzies everywhere. Okay. I'm going to start putting them this year, but I am new to this year. I love it. And I think it depends too on like, some people really love gift wrapping and they love the time it takes. I've just talked to some people who were like, oh, I did that and I did every single gift and it was too much. And now I am like not excited about it. So I feel like definitely don't overdo it, you know, so that you're like, oh, this was the worst, especially if you're like rushing. So now we just need to cut a little notch up here. And it's like there's one little string holding on. So then it creates like this cute little ribbon. And I was trying to think like, I feel like this is the cutest way to cut it, but I'm like, is there another way you could cut the bottom of the ribbon? Maybe you could do some just diagonal. Maybe we should try that. I don't know if that would be as cute, or do you think we should just stick with the triangle? And I'm cutting these. I'm realizing I'm getting ribbon everywhere. So I'm going to cut them not on this surface because I need that for my sills. And I'll bring that back. But this way all these little strands and things don't get on my surface. Jackie's joining. Welcome. Hi, Diane. Nice surprise. You're live right now, out running errands, and we'll watch. We'll get home to watch. Awesome. Just join the live. Where did you get the rectangle marble? It was a gift from Paula, and it was from Amazon. So it's called African Natural Marble Cutting Board for Kitchen Pastry Bread. So it's like a cheese board, but it works pretty well. I've been using it when I have, like, I'm making the wax seals for a collection. So like when I did the fall collection, I did like a bunch of gold, a bunch of cream, a bunch of peach. And so I made tons and tons of sills. So it was just nice to have such a big surface. Growing up, we saved every ribbon and bow for next year. Oh, I love that. I feel like you could do that with wax seals too. That you could save them and repurpose them on other gifts or for future years. And that's an interesting idea. I wonder if you could, like, I did do that actually. When I did the Santa tags for my kids, I used the Santa stamp from my shop and I saved them, like just kind of quietly grabbed them all when they're not paying attention. And then I did use them the next year. And then last year I kind of did I was doing something a little different on it. But my 8-year-old is he was like, "Oh, this is so funny. Santa has the same wrapping paper we have." And I was like, "Oh, he's paying more attention." And so I'm like, if I want to keep that going, I need to make it a little more unique. This one, I didn't quite get it centered, so I can either go again. It's a little bit harder on these tiny ribbons. A little more time consuming, I would say, but they are really cute. So you could go either way. You could go really big, or you could go small. Let's see. I would love to be able to wrap up my gifting game, but I'm always almost in a rush to get all my gifts wrapped. Yeah, that's what I feel like my problem is I intend to do it sooner and then I don't. And then I'm like just kind of rushing, and so it doesn't end up, it's not this like fun time to like sit down and feel crafty. It's like I got to get these done. Last year though, I can't remember where my family went. I'm like, what were they doing? I don't know. And I don't think it was planned. Like, I didn't be like, everyone needs to leave the house, but everyone was gone. And so I watched Christmas in Connecticut. Have you guys seen that movie? The old one, like the black and white one. It's so cute. Such a cute Christmas movie. And so I watched that and wrapped presents. And it was like, this is so fun. And it wasn't like a stressful time yet. I was still early. And so, like, maybe I could try to do that again this year. Have everyone go. I just heard the doorbell ring, and those are my packing ladies, so I'm just going to send a message. There we go. Okay. Fold in half and cut at an angle. Oh, I see what you're saying, Catherine. I was like, what are you saying? So fold them like this. Let's try it. And then we have to do just one cut. Oh my gosh. You guys are always the smartest. You have such great ideas. Is this recorded to rewatch? Yeah. So this, I do Wax Still Lives every Thursday. I normally do them at 1:30, but I'm teaching in the holiday workshop this week. So that's at 1:30. So we're doing a little early today, but I just go live, and the recording is on Facebook for only 30 days and then they delete it. But then on YouTube, it's there forever. So definitely, I would say, I think YouTube's a great place to be just for the content being there long term. So if you do have a YouTube, you can follow me there and watch it from there as well. But yeah, so you can definitely rewatch for later if needed. It's nice when they get older. I have to fight with my 18-year-old daughter to wrap even when she completely takes over. That's funny. That sounds like me because I remember, like, anytime my mom had a gift to, like, give someone, she would just be like, "Betsy, I need to take this gift. Can you wrap it for me?" And then it was like, "Oh, okay." And it was always so fun to do. My kids are 6 and 8, and my 8-year-old last year, there were a few presents he wanted to wrap, but I don't feel like they really care about that at this point. They're also boys, so I don't know if that makes a difference or not. This one I feel like is a little, let me try one more time. Try to get a better. That one worked a little bit better, I think, than the first one. Okay, I'm gonna do one more big one and then we'll just start. I feel like we've got plenty to use for a little while. There we go. Okay, so now I've got fuzzies everywhere again. I'm gonna clean off my scissors with, I had to grab a paper towel to do that. So I'm just gonna kind of clean those off so they're not fuzzy, and then see if I can scooch everything over a little bit and not go under my glue guns. There. Those red ones are just really fuzzy. Okay. I like to make shredded edges on some types of cotton ribbon. Oh, that's fun. I love that. I do have some frayed ribbon. I didn't bring any up with me, but like the velvet frayed, I have several of those and those are kind of cute too. Okay, so we've got our ribbon. Now we've got our little cheese board, bread pastry board thing, and we're going to use it. So I'm going to check my wax, and I actually might need to turn it back on for just a split second. So I'm going to just get some more. I'm using cream today, so I'm putting a new one of those in, and the gold is still okay. So let's arrange one and we can start. So the only thing I would say with this is this red is a little bit more more of a yellow base than this one. This one's more of a blue base. So it's not quite matching up. I think it will be fine like adjacent, but not on the same thing. So I don't want to use this one with my red wax, but I feel like this is fine. So let's try one with just two. So you kind of can decide how close you want them to be. Like if you want them to be far, and let me try to get the camera a little more aligned with where we are. So I'll work here so I'm more centered. So I think you could like go out more. I think they're cuter when they're like a little tighter, like so. And I do like to kind of do an initial one that connects them together. So I'm gonna grab, I didn't grab a blank stamp. Like maybe I have one in my bin. That's easy to find. Nope, it's not a blank. We'll just use one of these. You can use this little guy, it's partially blank. So I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of wax and then place my ribbon where I want it and then press down. And the whole point of this step is just to connect the ribbon. The other thing that I think we could do, let's do one more that I'm like, this might make it better. Let's grab another. Ooh, what if we do 3? The other thing that's kind of nice about this is I put just a tiny bit of wax down, but because this isn't parchment paper, now it's like stuck. So it's not going to move. So I kind of like that because I'm not having to reposition it on the parchment paper. It's just going to be there until I'm ready. Okay, so then if you want it, you could also try 3. So this is like connecting them together, but there's also the idea of that we need to like level out the surface. And so I'm wondering, like, maybe you don't need this step of connecting them, that you could just level the surface and call that good, and that's what connects them. But let's see, with 3, I'm just trying to like position them nicely. So let's try, so if we do maybe a little more wax than the first one had. And then I'm going to press and I'm going to hold it. Anytime there's something underneath the seal, you kind of got to hold it in place. I've tried folding in half, but usually cut the wrong way. Yeah. I feel like you got to be paying attention. So I feel like this actually worked pretty well and it's still kind of holding it. So maybe you don't need to do an under because I still don't think the surface is necessarily leveled, but let's just make a seal on each and we'll see how it comes out and if we even need this step at all. So I'm going to look for my seals. Something to think about and something that I have not always been good at thinking about is that the color of wax can match what your stamp is. I feel like sometimes I'm just like, any color is great with any design, but it's like this one is pine branches. So it's like, should it be green? I don't know. It doesn't have to be, but would it look better with green than red? Maybe. So I think that's just something to consider. You don't have to, but I think it's, I don't know, kind of fun. Or maybe since we're doing red, cream, and gold, maybe it's the gold or the cream versus the red. But a bow, just in my mind, seems red. So let's try it. So I'm just going to pour a circle amount. I can feel my wax is pretty warm, so I'm going to take it off. And then I'm going to press. And I need my lighter to pop some bubbles. And then we'll check it out. This specific stamp, and don't catch your ribbon on fire while you're trying to pop bubbles. Sometimes the bubbles, I don't know if you noticed that one, but it's just like stayed and it's like not popping, not popping. You just keep the heat on it and it will eventually go. But one thing about this stamp, because it is the ribbon, it had like the cross, the engraved going off both sides. It creates like a little bump on both sides, all the sides, but it's not showing here because the ribbon went through. So we'll see how that one looked in just a second. So let's find another one that could be red. Let's do, should we try the December box one? You can already see it's not a perfect circle right now, but once we press it, that kind of helped a little bit. But these ones, it's like, I don't think you can get a perfect circle every time. But I'm like, what if we want a perfect circle? Let's see how we could do that. Okay, that one's done. Okay, let's try another one and see if we could do. Okay, so I think let's make a seal, just a plain seal, and we'll attach it on after just to see how that one looks. Maybe let's try a new color. So we could try cream. I think let's do this one in cream. I think that will be pretty. And this does feel quite warm. That's a little much on the wax side. And lots of bubbles. So that's a good sign that my wax is on the hot side. The more I try to pop bubbles, the more hot it's going to get, the metal and this and the wax, so the longer it's going to take to cool. So if you do have bubbles that are kind of, your wax says it is hot, but it still has a bubble and you're trying to get it out with the heat, it's going to take longer. So then it's going to take longer to get off of the marble eventually. The other thing that I have noticed with this white and using the flame or the cream is that I did have a few where I got it too close and it created like soot on the edge. So I think, and I'm not exactly sure why that happened on one but doesn't on others. So if anyone knows, let me know, but just be aware that that can happen. This one's kind of cute. It's kind of like snowflakey, but let's try one more like this where we attach it afterwards and we can kind of decide if we have a preference. Oops, I'm off camera. Let me scooch. This board is so big, it just takes up the whole camera, which is so fun. Okay. And pop all the way around. Okay. So these ones are probably done. And if it's cool enough, it'll just come off. So here we've got our back. That's what's happening on the back. And then we can pull this off and it looks pretty cute. I can see like a little bit of the green peeking through. I think that's what's happening. Like, where did the stamp just go? Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of the green. So maybe we need to have the white over green. Not sure. But how cute is that? It's so cute. Let's try this one. So that one came up, but it didn't come off the marble. So if that happens, I'm trying to see where my other spatula went. You can grab a spatula. This one's dirty from yesterday. I haven't cleaned it yet. But you can pop it off. And so this is definitely going to be a more irregular seal for all of these because we're putting something underneath the wax. So it's going to change how the wax moves as it dries. So if that bothers you, we're going to try these ones and see if we can get like the perfect seal and attach it and see how that goes. Okay. That one came off sooner. Sorry. I'm like, where's my little... I like this little round one best for pulling these off. So there's that one. It's like kind of like snowflake lacy look. We'll see if this one, nope. So that one we're just gonna leave longer and let it sit. So if we want to do a one with cream on cream, maybe, or the red. What do you think? Red, or we could do like another combination of little ones where we could do, we haven't done this little red yet. Like that. Or we need a little green one. Oh, here's green. That reminds me of like a flag. So I don't know if I like that one. What do you think? Should we do two like this, or should we do a big red one? I like the cream and red, cream on cream combo. Yeah, I don't mind the cream on cream. I think that's kind of pretty, actually. For if you love neutrals, right? Okay, so this one, I haven't actually done this, so we're experimenting together. But I need to make this a little bit shorter first. And I'm going to turn my wax back on because I'd flipped it off. And I do want to connect the ribbon. So I'm just going to put a little bit of sealing wax. And then I'm going to put my red over the top and then press it. And I'm not too worried about, this one side was still bumpy, so I just pressed it down a little bit. Okay, so there's that. So what I'm thinking, I'm like, can I just put a little more sealing wax on the whole thing back here and then just do it? Or is that just gonna like not work? I don't know. So I'm like, what if we just put some sealing wax and then hopefully it won't melt through, and just press it on, hold it. It's a little stuck because we're on marble. So if I pop that off, so this is what it's looking like on the back. It's a little thicker. It's not just like a flat sill, like this one is kind of all contained. So I don't know if that would make this harder to attach, but then also it's perfectly round. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you liking this type of look where it's just a little bit uniquely shaped, or perfect round? I don't know. I mean, the perfectionism in me loves this one, but I do like how this one's just all connected. It's just a piece and you could put something sticky and you're on. Where this one, I feel like it's on there pretty good. Like, I think the trick with this was the wax has to be warm enough, because if the wax is just barely warm, it's not going to be hot enough to like adhere to this bottom one. So Round looks nice. Both. I like the round. Yeah. I do think the round looks really nice. So maybe we'll try a few more like that and see if we run into any more things of like why that might not be a good idea, or maybe it's fine. Okay, great example. Can you guys see there's little bits of ribbon all over this? So I think partially, I think this was sitting up with cutting. So I think we need to have a cutting station and then your seal making station so that you don't get all those little fuzzies in your seal. But it's like barely noticeable, not a big deal. So this ribbon also is a little bit, I don't know, I feel like it still works, but I think this larger size looks a little better with the super big. So this one, oops, sorry to bump the camera. I kind of want to do the greens and the cream, but maybe the darker green. We're out of that one already. So I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to cut it over here so it doesn't. Okay, so like this, and then I'm going to cut like this, but I'm going to do it off the side because even like it gets these little bits everywhere. But then we have our little ribbon ready. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. The question, could you use double-sided tape instead of wax to make it flat? Ooh. To do between the ribbon too, or just to connect it to the seal, you think? Like, do you think we need wax to connect the ribbon? Because I feel like it won't stick to ribbon, but let's try it. 3M sticker, adhesive backing with these. Let's try it all. So this is the tape. I'm like, I think I have a little bit thinner tape. This one that we might be able to use. I've already taken over my kitchen. I can't take over another area just for cutting ribbon. That's hilarious. You got to move to the living room. That's so funny. Okay, so let's see. I'm not sure if this will hold the ribbon, but maybe it will, and I'm just not sure. So let's just try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll do that part with wax. But I think we could potentially stick the seal on with the tape. The other thing that's kind of nice about what we're doing with these is it's like they're going to go on gifts. We're not mailing these. It doesn't have to be like the most secure thing ever, which makes it kind of less pressure. So maybe this will work just fine. I mean, I'm not pulling super hard, but I feel like it could work because no one's going to be pulling it like that. Let's try it. And then I'll use a little bit thicker. This is just double-sided tape. And I'm wondering maybe if I put it on, maybe I'll put this on the seal. And then we'll try attaching this and see if that works a little better to keep it more flat. So yeah, I feel like it works. It's not going anywhere. Let's see. So then if we have our gift, the cream doesn't match this paper, unfortunately. Maybe we'll have to do something with gold. This one does have like, it's up a little bit because of the wax. I don't know if that's nicer. I guess this one's kind of a little up because of the ribbon anyway. So I don't know. I feel like you could go either way. If you're like, I just want to do it all with wax, I already have my stuff out. Or if you're like, I'm going to use tape, you keep it a little bit flatter. It's still not as flat as this version where the wax, because the ribbon light goes into the wax. So I don't know. I think either. Okay, let's make a couple more and then we got to do some gold. Let's see. I haven't done gold wax yet, so let's see how that wax is looking. Pretty good. Little adhesive dots will hold the ribbon together if you don't want to press a dab of wax on the ribbons. There we go. So yeah, so you don't have to do the wax. I think we're like, yeah, we can use the adhesive dots, glue dots, the double-sided tape, other stuff will work for us, which I think will be great. Maybe should we try a gold and a red and see how that looks? So maybe let's try this one. I need another gold wax stick. And like I thought I did, but a little ball. It's pretty hot. So I'm glad it's on the marble. Press. And gold is a metallic wax, so anytime there's bubbles, it's going to leave like a mark that it was there. But that's okay. So let's try this one. We'll try attaching this one. And let's try doing one more where we just pour it on one of the bigger ones and see. So this, the snowflake one. Oh, another thing we could try that I was like, we should try this is just like a centered. So a centered big with a little. I feel like that could be cute. Let's try that. And I'm like, oh, I wanted that tree stamp back. Maybe this one, because it's like green, where this one's, I don't feel like it's a snowflake, you know? Okay, so let's do cream. And let's see if we can, we'll try doing another pour on top. Yeah, I kind of think I'm liking, I'm going to try to level out the surface on this one first. I think I'm kind of liking the make it a head and then attach it to ribbon version, but that one's not ready. This one is ready. So also good to note, the green is definitely showing through. So what we were seeing here, like the darkness towards the inside of the ribbon, is the green ribbon itself. So that's peeking through. So maybe it is good that we'll do one more layer. And we'll need to pay attention this time to the direction of the stamp. So yeah, I feel like this is, if you want the more organic look, then you're going to pour right onto the wax. I'm like, don't catch the ribbon on fire. But there's so many bubbles now. And they just keep coming. Okay, I think I got all the bubbles. More organic look versus if you want it more perfectly round, you attach it after. So now we know. So you also have to decide which one you prefer. And I'm like, I think I'm leaning towards the round versus organic. And I'm like, I want to get this one off without messing up the one next to it. Let's see. What did Jackie say? I just prefer to save my wax for actual sills. Tape is less expensive. That's a good point, Jackie. Just to like, yeah, only use the wax on your sills. I totally get that. That's a great point. This one doesn't want to come off. Can you make these into stickers like other wax sills with the 3M adhesive backings, or does that not work because of the ribbon? Ooh, I think it probably would work. I'm like, do I have some of those backings in my bin? Because I'm like, I don't think I do. I feel like it would. Well, not that one. We'd have to go with either one that's flat like this or the one that we taped. But I don't know. It might be, it's a little bumpy, but I feel like it would probably work. And then you could make it a sticker, make them all ahead of time, and then just pop them on to the gift. You have to try the dental floss to get the sills off. You're right. And I'm like, I don't even have any dental floss. We have like the like the little ones that are on like a plastic thing, not like a string of dental floss. So I need to get some. And like I think my kids might have gotten some their last trip to the dentist. I'd have to check their little bins. Part of it is I don't want to bump that one, so I'm not, and I did bump it, but luckily it didn't mark it. So it wasn't stuck as much as I thought it was. So here's our little trees. Maybe this one should be the red one. I think that's what we were doing. I don't know. Do we like the golden red? There's not quite enough contrast there for me. Like I think a white one on the red would be prettier. A gold on this one I really like because there's a little more contrast between the colors. So let's try doing our ribbon, or I mean our tape, and we'll see how this works. Yeah, I think I'm fully converted. I've made these several times before, but I've always done it this way. But I think, yeah, like I think I'm into this idea of like making them a head, then attached to the ribbon. Because I'm liking that look better. My least favorite thing about this type of tape, though, is getting the little paper off. I have such a hard time doing this, but leaving the sticky part. It's like, is the sticky part on there? I don't think so. Try this side. Yeah. Let's see. I like gold on the cream. Yeah, me too. I feel like that's the better. And then let's make one more big white one. Maybe we will do it with the snowflake. Okay, there, I finally got it. You guys, that was painful. Okay, so now we've got our sticky. And this I think works pretty well because it's just one ribbon versus like with multiple and layering, it adds that thickness. But this is just like one ribbon and it's on, it's nice and flat. I love it. I love that so much. That's so cute. Okay, let's try, we'll do one with this as well. I think the 3am sticker might be easier. I think you're right. I think I would try wet glue like Barely Art. Yeah, I think you could totally do that. To attach it, and then that might be a little easier. I got the tip of my nozzle next to my gold, like it's sitting in a gold drop, and so now it has a tiny bit of gold right there. And we're just gonna pop, there's a really big bubble right here. So we're gonna hold it there till the bubble goes away. Okay, so we'll leave that. Let's check this one. Use your punch awl to start getting the tape off the double stick. Oh, that's a good idea. Pull the edge up. Good idea, guys. You guys have all the good ideas. Even with 2 layers of cream, the green's still showing through a little bit. So I don't love that. But I feel like, I wonder if red would maybe be a little bit better and not as like showing up as much. But still cute. Still cute and fun. Okay, let's let this one cool. And the next step was just, I wanted to add a little gold. Right when I was setting up, I was like, oh, I should get my gems out and we should put gems on these too to make them extra fancy. But then I didn't find them in my bin. I think they're in there, but I just think they're kind of deep in there. So let's try, I love using the Krylon pen to add gold, and sometimes it goes on sealing wax really well and sometimes it doesn't. But then there's also this gold powder that I use a lot. And I have some gold chrome too, and then I need to get organized again. I was organized for a few weeks and then now I'm not, and I need to get back into it. That's not so this is like a newish Krylon, and the more I use them, the more bent they are. And there's one in my bin that I really like that's really bent. I took a bunch of pens to the workshop with me because everyone needed a pen. I think it's this one. See how bent it is? So that's mine that works really well. Something I have done is sometimes this one's still working great and fine, but sometimes I'll change the tip of one pen that I'm really liking and it flows really well into this one. And so it's full of ink, but has the same tip that's been working well. Because sometimes like the ink doesn't go through the tip all the way. The joy stamp is gorgeous. I must have missed where you mentioned that one came from. This one is one that I designed and it's in the online shop. So I think it's actually out of stock, but it will be stocked again in the within like a week. It will be back. But this is the one that's in the Wax Silk Club box, the Happy Holidays one, which is really cute. So if you haven't gotten that box, you need to join. It's so much fun. You get 1 stamp and 3 wax sticks, and it's every other month. And then let's try it on the red. And I've got kind of a lot of flow now, so I need to get some of this off. But it's every other month, and it's $25, which the stamp itself would be $25 in my shop anyway, so it's really just a great deal. The one thing that's a little tricky about these stamps that have, maybe I'll do this over here, that have the engraving that goes all the way to the edge when you're adding gold is that you don't want to get gold on the edge, but you want to get it on the bow. So I'll usually just try to get it as close as I can and not worry about it if it's not like all the way. This one's going to be easier because there's not a lip on the bottom, but over here you can see I didn't get all the way to the edge, but I'm not going to because I know if I try to get that close, I'm going to touch the rim of the sill and get gold on it, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather play it safe. There we go. How cute. I think it's so fun. I like that little bow. Let's see if it goes on as well onto the cream. It's working pretty well. It's a little bit more beady. So that's what it kind of feels like. It depends on the color a little bit. I don't know. But we can go back over. And usually if it does bead up, it's like, okay, we'll just do a couple coats and then it's usually pretty good. You just kind of keep going over it and eventually everything's covered. But that one is very cute. I like that one a lot. And I was like, I wanted to put this on a gift, but I wanted like to do the whites and creams, but this is a very white paper, so it kind of looks a little off. This could be cute, a tree sill on tree paper, but the coloring's just not quite there. So I don't know if we're actually gonna do it, but I think you could just do that double-sided tape again to attach it and you're good. And then I think you could do like, not in this example, we would need a tag because we can't letter on this, but you could letter on that if it was the right paper. I don't usually add gold to gold, but I'm wondering if we should try it and see if it does make the design stand out just a tiny bit, or if you can't even tell, I don't know. Let's see. It's like a little bit of a lighter gold than the wax itself. Gold on gold. I feel like you can still see it. And so it's still very subtle, but I kind of like it. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so which ones are our favorites so far? We need to move this one. So that one's done. And it grabbed a little touch of that gold, but that's okay. So let's try this one. Happy Holidays. I love this stamp. It's so cute. And then we'll just go over the designed part. And this designed part. And there's Happy Holidays. Let's see. I like the gold on gold. Yeah, I like it too. I just received that fabulous stamp with pine trees. I can't wait to play with it. Yeah, it's so fun. That one's one of my favorites from the holiday collection. So this one you can see a little more obviously that it's kind of beating up. You see how I just did that, but all the wax is not there or all the gold is not there anymore. So that's what I'm talking about when I say that it beads up. So I already started this one, so I can't really switch back to the powder. So it's funny because this one, same wax, but maybe also just how much wax is the surface you're trying to color. I don't know. But in this instance, what I would do is I'd let this dry and then I'd come back and do a second coat and sometimes even a third coat. So this always happens to me with vellum wax. I love the look of gold with vellum wax, but I always have to do multiple coats. So you can see it's not really going on. But that's okay. Let's see if this one works any better. Um, kind of. I feel like it's going on a little bit better, but it could use a second coat. But man, I'm like, this is so pretty. But really, like, if you're like, I dropped my lid. If you wanted to do these like on all of your gifts, I don't feel like it would be as much time as other techniques because you're doing a solid sill. You wouldn't even have to color it gold. You could just leave it. And then you're just going to attach it to your ribbon, cut your ribbon, and then you're done. And then you can really just stick it on your gift. Another thing that could be so fun is if you did like an initial stamp. So if it was like C for Clayton, and then all of Clayton's gifts has a C, like one of these. So then it's just the same stamp on every time. Or even I feel like I know some people do like different wrapping papers for different people. So even if it was like yours are all the red sills or this person, or this person gets only gold sills or something, or like this specific combo, I think could be really fun. Um, it also helps to really press the tape into the first surface, make it bond to it, then pull the tape. That's a great tip, Marilyn. Thank you. Will there be a replay of this? Yes, Karen. So this is a wax seal live. So I do these every Thursday and share a fun wax seal tip with you guys or technique, anything like that. And so it's available on YouTube forever. It's available as a replay on Facebook for 30 days and then they delete it. So if you want to watch it like long term, I'd go find it on YouTube because it'll be there. I love how pretty and festive these are. Me too. They're so fun and Christmassy. And I'm kind of like, I'm loving these neutral ones. And I'm like, I'm debating. I have to make a few more because I'm going to post a reel about this. And I'm wondering if I want to do more reds. I do like the reds though, because it does feel more Christmassy than just this, right? So we didn't attach this one yet. So that was the last one we were going to do was, but I am really loving this really big one. And so I'm just wondering if you could get maybe, other like ones like this, or maybe a stripe with a thicker ribbon might be really cool. Okay, where did my tape go? Oh, I set it back in my bin. Okay, so let's try this. And I'm like, now where are the scissors? I can't find anything. How big is that seal? Okay, let's try this again with this ribbon. And we'll see how we like it compared to the others. Okay, so I'm going to try the trick of using the awl to grab a corner and pull it up. So let's try it. If we just try to poke, my awl is dirty. I think it has hot glue on it from marbling hot glue seals. Well, I don't know if that really worked. Also, I'm like, I don't know if it's working well with this. That just came off. So maybe it will a little bit depend on the texture of your ribbon because this isn't sticking very well at all. So maybe let's try, this is my wax. My wax is not even warm, nothing's gonna come out. So, okay, let's wait a second for that to heat up. So if any of you have not yet joined the Wax Seal Club box, please join. It's so much fun. And this ribbon that we've been using, this one, is a bonus. So if you order by today, you get this spool of ribbon. Let me show you the whole spool. But it's so cute. So here's the spool. It's 3/8 of an inch thick and it's 10 yards. So that's a little bonus. If you order by the end of today, you'll get that. And then you also get these little gift tags, which are so cute and fun. Let me show you these. And then our cream should be heated up enough. But these are the little gift tags. So, and anyone who's already a subscriber, you already get these. This is a little fun thing to note. Where's the stamp? Is the design on this like half wreath is the same as this design, just it's not a half anymore. So I always try to do that with the boxes, like duplicate elements, which makes it fun. Little bows, merry and bright with ornaments, and there's 2 of each. Happy holidays. I think that's all of them. Yeah, and there's a Merry Christmas one. I think that was the first one. Yeah, so there's 2 of each. But anyway, so that's if you order by the end of today. So I'm going to add that link one more time. And then we can check our cream wax because I think it'll be good that we can. Yeah, even I just like took a little peek at my screen and I can see these lined up with the red and the green. It just looks more Christmassy than just the neutral. So I think I am going to do a nice mix of all the colors because I was kind of like, maybe I'll just do neutrals because a part of me just loves that. But I'm like, maybe we need to branch out and use more colors. And I'm just pressing it down. And we'll see if maybe this one, I think the wax will hold pretty well. It wasn't super hot, but I think that turned out okay. And it's better than the tape. The tape wasn't really sticking. So there's that one. I don't know. I don't know if I like this ribbon with it or not. It feels, I don't like it as much as my other ribbon, but maybe it's fine and it's just me being weird. Let's see if we can add some gold. So this one needed a second. Look at this. You see how there's like some gold, but it's kind of like not everywhere. So we just need to put a second coat and then we should be good. That should be enough coverage for it. So that's the one downside. This pen on hot glue, you never need a second coat. It's always just one coat, but with the sealing wax, sometimes you need another one. And the same here. You can see that one didn't go on quite as well. So we'll do this one more time. How many of you are a part of my workshop week? I'm so curious because that's a paid workshop. So people who got a ticket are going to be there. And that's at 1:30. So wait, what time is it? I'm like, what time is it right now? It's almost 1 o'clock. Okay, so we have to end this because I almost just kept going, guys. I need to pay better attention. I was not thinking it was this late. I thought I started this. Anyway, we're doing chocolate sills. So I need to go get my stamps washed and in the freezer. So if you're coming to that, go get your stamps washed and put them in the freezer. I would say this one's definitely harder to color with the pen because it's got different levels of engraving on the snowflake. So I'll definitely have to do a second coat with that. But anyway, if you're on that, I'll see you in about 30 minutes. I'm glad I checked the time and didn't just keep jamming away over here. That's what happens when I make sills. I just kind of lose track of time and everything. But that's the idea. I hope you use it for your gift wrapping. It's something that's like easy and doable and not overwhelming. I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to have an easy idea in your back pocket that you can use. So, thank you guys so much for being here. You can watch this replay for the future. If you want to come to my Waxo Lives, take a screenshot of this really quick on your phone or your computer. Just text the word live to this phone number. And then I shoot out a text every time before I go live. So I try to do it every Thursday that I am available and like actually at home. Um, Sometimes it's a little hit and miss depending on what's going on. But anyway, that's how you can get a reminder for it. So thank you guys so much. If you try this technique, take a photo, tag me on social media. I'd love to see it, or send me a DM so I can see. And I'll see you guys all for next week. Next Thursday, we'll Swax Live at 1:30. Bye, guys.